Yeah, welcome again. And on my right-hand side, a man who needs no introduction, but maybe we should explain what's the proper pronunciation of your name. This is Tobias. You might call him Tobias, but Tobias is a little bit more perfect. So Tobias, how is it? How does it feel to not be the man in charge?
Well, pretty good actually. Well, I'm kind of still in charge for the opening, which is putting some pressure on my shoulders for now. But once that is lifted off my shoulders and I step down the stage tomorrow morning, I am more than excited to blend in with delegates and speakers and just enjoy the show, you know?
And how do you feel about that time? Is it over yet? I'm not quite sure. The pandemic really drove us into a weird situation. And how was that during the last 2 years from the perspective of being the organizer of a conference that actually couldn't make it for 2 years now?
Yeah, that's true. It always depends on who runs a conference. If it's a big company, then you probably get away with Corona for a year or two. But PowerShell conference was always organized by volunteers, by small groups of people tossing in information and energy. And so when we had to cancel in 2020, that was bad enough to sort of almost before opening, you have to reverse everything, which is an extra work instead of getting a reward for what you have accomplished. And then there was the online conference on top of that we needed to organize. And then we went for another try in 2021. Again, well, you can't really predict it. So that was the moment when my family said, hey, that's it now. You can't do that for one more year. And I agreed. And I'm so happy that Gail took over that position, because for him, it wasn't easy at all. Like when he was at the peak of organizing this conference, it was November, December. That was when you remind you of that time when Corona was just, levels were extraordinarily high. So it was quite a risk for him to organize all of this. I am so happy that the story continues, and I had my part in it, and I'm kind of proud to see the old logos still on the roll-up displays, but it's good that there is a change. And also I love Vienna, so with me we would have been again locked in Hanover.
Yeah, that's an important thing. You live in Hanover, and I think not being in the capital, in the one usual suspect city, has a lot of advantages. Everything is not, there's not so much pressure. It's always a little bit more, maybe it's a little bit more cost expensive if you go to venues like Barcelona or Paris or Berlin, the usual suspects. But now we're in Vienna, and this is, of course, one of the cities that everyone has on its plan. It's beautiful to get around, but honestly, will we have time to spend some time in Vienna itself? Do you think you will find the time during the conference?
Yeah, because the thing is, there have been changes in the agenda. Traditionally in Hanover, we had the big social event on the first day's evening, which has been changed and switched to the second day. So Monday evening is already off for anyone to do whatever they want to. And I always suggest go down to the Donau River. There are these river boats with the swimming pools where you can get a zip-along drink, and then if you want to go for a swim. So tons of things to do, or the Donau Islands. On Tuesday, obviously, there is Prater, which is simply also discovering Vienna, except in a social group. And the third day would then be speakers dinner, I assume. So that if you just stay here for the 4 days of conference, you still get lots of Vienna stuff, but just as an appetizer. If you are smart, you just come a little bit early or leave a little bit late and just add a couple more days for yourself.
There is one thing that didn't change. We're still in a Germanic region. This is Austria, but people still speak German, kind of. So what I want to focus is on, I guess these kind of conferences always have a chicken-egg problem, because you have to find out where are the delegates, where are the people that you want to invite to a conference. And of course, there's a big user groups in Germany. So this really worked well. But on the other side, it would be nice to have different countries, different languages to address people. What would you think could be, from your personal perspective, not announcing anything, what from your personal perspective, would be a great place to be in future times?
Well, first of all, I can't announce anything anyway, because that's Gail's position to do. I just would like to say one thing. From an organizer's or ex-organizer's point of view, it always makes sense to stay in one place for at least 2 or 3 or 4 years, simply because it takes so much time to set things up. And once you know how things work, if that is okay with you, then trying to do the same again makes sense. However, Gail has other plans. I don't know exactly what he's going to do. To me, there are just 2 points that would count. One is to get there must be very easy. There should be an international airport close by. And secondly, the cost to stay there shouldn't be prohibitive. So, for example, Switzerland, to me, would be a no-no, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. And I think Vienna is a perfect choice in these circumstances. So, Tobias, enjoy the conference. Thanks for the little interview. Maybe we have the chance later on to talk a little bit more about PowerShell. But now I think we should wrap it up here, because they need to prep the room. So thank you. Enjoy the conference.
I will. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.